Hey guys, in this video, I'm going to talk about the simplest and most profitable carpet and upholstery detailing and explain why this is actually one of my favorite parts of detailing and one of the most profitable parts of detailing for a lot of different reasons. Now, you guys might recognize this is the interior of the Kia Soul that I posted a video on just a couple days ago, and this is the part we did not get to see regarding the carpet and upholstery section. So now we are diving full deep and into this part of the car. But before we get started, I just want to let you guys know, as always, if you are new to the detailing industry or detailing business, or you've been in here for 10 years and you just want to see an outsider's perspective on the top 10 tools and products that you need to start your detailing business, then go below in the YouTube description box below this video. There will be a completely free guide that you can get access to right now to your email. It's a 13-page document that I put together that basically describes how to start your detailing business for under $500 and how to not waste time on products and tools that don't work. So guys, what are the products and tools that I'm using in this video? Well, number one, I've got my 4-gallon rigid vacuum here that I'm using to vacuum out all of the carpet, and we'll be using it to vacuum out the seats as well. I'm using my DeWalt power drill because I'm attaching my different Wilson Auto Detailing drill brushes to it, using round drill brushes, 2-inch drill brushes, 4-inch drill brushes, and these are all brushes that are going to come in the new Wilson Auto Detailing drill brush pack that is not out yet, but we're getting pictures done right now for the Amazon listing, so it's going to be out very, very soon. And then I am going to be using a dedicated Renegade upholstery cleaner. It's my go-to upholstery cleaner now. It's my favorite upholstery cleaner that I'm using. I keep it on my shelf as a staple, and it's an amazing product. Obviously, all of this stuff will be hooked up in the YouTube description box below. And then, of course, I'm going to be using an extractor. And I know what you're thinking. I don't have an extractor, and I don't know how to detail like this without one. We're going to talk about that in great detail. Now, this first product I'm using to detail out the upholstery is not the product that I just talked about, and I only use it here one time because I didn't actually like it very much. I believe it's a German product that I got my hands on from my friends at Car Supplies Warehouse, and it just wasn't my favorite product, but I was just testing it out here. So I've got my 4-inch white soft drill brush attached to my drill here, and let's just pretend I'm using my dedicated Renegade upholstery cleaner because that's what I'm going to be using for the rest of these seats here. Now, there's a couple notes to be made here. This type of material is a material that I talk about a lot. It is what I call the modern upholstery material. What that means is this is not the traditional type of fabric that you find on like rugs in your house and carpets in your house. This is basically a material that is kind of mesh. It's really stretched out. It's flatter, and it doesn't have little fibers that stick up. And because of that, it can be very difficult to detail out. Let me explain what I mean. You guys know that I don't always pull out my extractor, but here I'm using the Mighty Light 8070 heated carpet extractor. It's about an $1,100, $1,200 machine, and it is my favorite extractor in my garage. Yes, I have a less expensive extractor that I'll talk about in just a second, but the reason why I normally don't pull out my extractor is because in many ways, an extractor can create more work for you. The reason why I'm pulling out my extractor here, and you want to listen to this part because it's very important. With this particular modern type of upholstery and modern type of material, it is very, very easy to experience something that detailers call the wicking effect. The wicking effect is basically like if you can imagine a candle that's lit, and over time, the wax dwindles down and dwindles down. The reason why the wax dwindles down is because wicking means that something is basically wicking it up, grabbing the liquid and spreading it to other areas, much like a candle with the fire, the flame at the top, literally wicks up the wax, up the wick, and that's the fuel for the candle. That is what happens at a very, very big level with this modern type, new type of upholstery. If you spill something on this particular type of upholstery, what ends up happening is because of the way the material is made, the type of material it is, that liquid basically reaches out and grabs as much fabric as it can, meaning it spreads out as much as it can. So one of the phenomenons that you observe with this type of material is that if you get back from basketball practice or you get back from the gym and you sit in the driver's seat and drive back home, you might get up and realize that your lower back or your shoulders or the back of your legs have created this sort of sweat stain on this particular type of seat, and the sweat stain just kind of stays there, and it looks like this ring or like this kind of jagged line of demarcation. That is the wicking. That's the sweat. That's the liquid literally going as far out, grabbing as much material, as much fabric upholstery as it possibly can. It just kind of moves out from the center. So that being said, the reason why I'm using the extractor is because the extractor combats this wicking in a big way, and here's what I mean. If you try to deal with wicking without an extractor, the reason it's so difficult is because wicking, again, spreads and spreads and spreads. And in my experience, and this is just kind of my professional detailing opinion, it is pretty much always easiest when you're dealing with this material, if it's pretty dirty, to pull out your extractor and just go ahead, extract the whole seat, extreme clean the whole seat, the whole upholstery, just like I'm doing here. Because when you do this properly, you won't be left with anything left over. If you roll the dice and you just try to detail it out with your drill brushes and your microfiber towel and you try to mop up the cleaner, but you're not literally suctioning things out, rinsing things out with your extractor in a very kind of complete way, you end up getting little rings left over that you're going to have to go back and fix. And that's why it's fairly difficult to do this without an extractor. Now, not all upholstery needs this type of attention, but once again, I've never seen this car. I don't think it's been detailed before now. And because of that, I'm hitting the restart button on it, and so I was going to do this anyways, but all the more easy to take this approach because the type of material it is, because it's got some wicking within the material. It's always going to be easiest for me to just go ahead and take this approach. Now, I want to explain why I think upholstery cleaning, carpet cleaning is one of the best possible services you can offer isolated or in conjunction with other parts of your detailing services, just as a whole in your business. Because this area is what I call kind of the majority of the interior. You can basically boil down any part of the interior or exterior to one or two components where if those components are completely cleaned and detailed out, it almost makes it look like the rest of the vehicle or the rest of the components are totally cleaned and detailed out. What I mean is that because the carpet and the upholstery seats take up such a majority part of the car, even if they're totally cleaned and detailed out and the rest of the car is completely left to nothingness and not detailed at all, the car still looks really, really clean. And you might notice this phenomenon if you've ever done this. Some people will often call you in your detailing business and say things like, hey, I just want my upholstery seats done. I just want the carpet done, because they understand that that's such a major part, and it's also one of the parts that gets dirtiest the fastest. If you have a really disgusting, really deeply dirty vehicle, and all you do is completely hit the reset button, restart button with the upholstery and the carpet, you will see that the rest of the car looks clean. It's almost like when your room is just a total wreck and it's a total mess, when you make your bed, because the bed is kind of like the focal point of most of bedrooms people have, if the bed is made really nicely, clean, neat, not a bunch of wrinkles, all the pillows are on it correctly, it kind of makes the rest of the room look really clean, even if there's clothes everywhere and you have, old pizza on your shelf. It's like, yeah, but still it looks pretty clean. That's why so many people are concerned about this particular area of the car. It's also why it's such a great way to capitalize in a business sense and a profitability sense with your detailing business, because it'll take so much less time to get this done relative to doing the entire interior. And when someone calls you only to do what I call a singular job, this is what I would categorize as a singular job, and you come out to do that singular job, the upholstery and the carpet, you can charge near to what you would charge with the entire interior, because you're going out there anyways to get it done. So hopefully that makes sense to you. Now let me adjust really quickly for those of you who do not have an extractor and you're wondering if you can deal with upholstery like this. Number one, let me say I will be hooking up an extractor that's much less expensive. It's called the Aqua Pro Vac, and it is one that I still have in my garage and I still use it. Even though I'm using the Mighty Light 8070 heated carpet extractor here, which is about double the price of the one I'm about to talk about, I do use the Aqua Pro Vac all the time because it's so small, so portable, and very, very powerful for its size, for its price, and in many ways it can be way more convenient to use when I don't need something as heavy duty as what I'm using here. Now, for those of you wondering, can I attack upholstery like this without all these fancy tools? The answer is yes. However, if you don't at least have a good set of drill brushes, you are not going to be able to attack this upholstery. The reason why drill brushes are so necessary in a situation like this is because they act very similarly to the way I described the extractor when it comes to the wicking. The extractor will attack and reset the entirety of the upholstery seat. The drill brush will do the same thing, aggressively attack every part of the surface, and that's what you have to do when you're dealing with this wicking phenomenon, is you can't just address the one stain you see. You have to address the stain you see as the center and move outward in a circle, probably at least 6 to 8 inches, in order to address the wicking totally. Because when you introduce the chemical to the focal point, which is the stain, it will actually move the stain outwards, okay? This is why you have to address it in a sort of like large radius sort of way. And that's where the drill brush comes so in handy and why it's such a necessary tool. Because you're going to be able to aggressively address the seats in a way you would never otherwise be able to do if you were scrubbing something by hand. You're also going to basically emulsify the stain and atomize the chemical cleaner and stir up a lot more suds than you would otherwise be able to do. And that hopefully just makes sense from a logical point of view. So not only is this how I address stains in upholstery, and these are the exact tools that I use, but this is also why I love this part of the detailing business, because it's something that so many people want, and when it's done, it can be served as a sort of main course or just a single job here. You don't have to do a bunch of other things to the car to make it look so great. So when people want this service done, I know that it's going to be one of those really fulfilled expectations sort of customer interactions, because the before and after just automatically looks so dramatic, because this is the main part of the interior, and when it's done correctly, it just brings the entire level of the car to this new level of just looking really, really good. Now guys, I'm going to go ahead and let you sit back and relax and enjoy the rest of the extraction on this last seat. Make sure that you go below and you grab my free guide to starting your auto detailing business for under $500 in the YouTube description box below. And of course, if you want to see the products and the tools used in this video, I'm going to hook up links to every single one of them, again, in the same spot in the YouTube description box below. And guys, if you're new to the Wilson Auto Detailing channel, but you like information like this, then go ahead and smash the subscribe button and tap the bell icon so that you get notified when I publish future videos, because I publish videos every other day. So we just got content after content after content. As always, guys, thank you so much for watching. And from Luke here at Wilson Auto Detailing, enjoy the rest of the video, keep working hard, and I will see you in the next video.